Can they hear you?
No. Yeah. It is that time you've been waiting for with bated breath. Thinking real estate.
Of course, everybody's waiting for that. Did they were with bated breath all summer long, weren't they?
Probably.
Probably.
Lord Dwyer Schlecke, Jackie Austin.
Yeah,
today.
Bill's got depositions today. Actually, I don't think he's deposing. He has got to be, if you ever get a chance, go watch Bill do depositions on someone. He
Like
is,
I'm going to have that chance.
well, we could make.
When am I going to
I
have
don't know, but
that?
he has got to be.
I'd like to be there right now.
You'd be sleeping. Yeah, he is amazing in depositions. He's amazing, period. But in depositions, he kills it. Just unbelievable to watch.
So I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah. Well, he's not deposing. I think he is. It's someone else's deposition, so he just gets to object every now and then. I'm not exactly sure, but anyhow, there you have it.
Yeah.
So I thought we might talk about why fall's the best time to buy a house.
Let me ask you, why is fall the best time to buy a house?
Unless there's something else you want to talk about.
No?
We could talk about the tax returns of Trump and why that's a horrible thing to... I mean, I get trying to pay as few taxes as possible, but you and I are paying for the infrastructure
That's above
improvements.
my pay grade.
Yeah, anyhow. Okay, so I was reading an article about fall and buying houses. So you're going to get lower prices. Do you know
Why?
what the...
Why would you get lower
because
prices?
there's more people want to move in the summertime because they don't, they can take, that's when you can take vacations probably anytime, but that's when people tend to. Kids are out of school. it's
So this
easier
is
to
a good
move
time
up.
to move.
It is a good time to
Okay.
move. Best deals. There is actually someone who did statistics, and you can normally get prices at 2.6% less on a house in the fall.
Who stays up at night and does that?
Realty Track.
Okay.
Somebody does.
That
This
makes-
is Realty Track.
that
They
makes
did it
sense.
for, they looked at 32 million homes over the last 15 years. So I would say that's probably pretty reliable.
Pretty decent sample.
Yeah, do you know what the worst single day is where you're gonna get for a seller to sell their house? They have it down to the day.
Friday.
No, of the year. It's a specific, January 19th. I'll take the guessing out of it for you.
January 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's see, you know what the best day of the year is?
Best day would be November 30th.
October 8th.
Oh, I was
Oh,
close.
that's like this week. so-
Yeah.
This week.
It says buyers get a home on average at 10.8% below estimated market value.
So this Saturday, you can, that would be the
Apparently,
best day to
that's
buy a
the day.
house.
According to Realty Track, yep. On a $300,000 home, that translates into, the average is 2.6%. That translates into a $7,800 price reduction. In April, homes sell for an estimated 1.2% above market value. People are getting
They wanna, yeah, they wanna
The
get
fever.
in
You've
So-
got less competition in the fall because people are getting their kids back into school. I always say that
Well, they're all back in. I mean, what's the big deal?
sports,
Yeah.
we're just getting
Right.
ready for the holidays.
No, don't say that. Come on.
So, oh yeah,
Are we?
look at Halloween.
Yeah.
God, I was at Kroger's yesterday, and I could
Was it a
not.
zoo?
I could not believe all the people in the Halloween aisle there at Kroger's. I
That's
had
weird.
to take a double
It's October
Double take.
2nd.
Well, I bought you candy.
I know you bought that.
Jackie lives over there off of Crescent, and that's probably where
Halloween
everybody
has
ships
their own
kids
aisle?
in. Yes. at Kroger's.
I don't get to Kroger. too
Unbelievable how many people were in,
often.
and
Okay.
this is October 3rd, right?
What were you doing in the Halloween aisle?
I was passing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Just checking.
Right. So less competition. People just drop out of the market, so they're busy. Sellers are worn out if they've had their house on the market. A lot of times people put their house on the market in the spring. If it's still on the market by fall, they're tired of being on the market. So they're a
Really?
little bit more motivated. They want to get settled before the holidays set in. Again, those holidays.
So the price comes down.
Yeah, or they're motivated.
Yeah, they're more willing to negotiate, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, price might not come down. Sometimes sellers think they have their house on the market longer than it's actually been on the market.
Why would they should know the day it goes on the market.
Well, it seems longer
Yeah.
than it actually is. Because you keep your house
Is there
clean.
is there a normal
An
period-
average day?
period of
Each-
time that
Each property is different.
Each neighborhood's gonna be
Each
different.
when we do market analysis, we narrow it right down to the neighborhood, or the area, if it's a piece of property if it's a house on a piece of, larger piece of property. So, each area has a different number of average days on the market. Each price range too, right? So.
I don't know. I'm asking. You're the
Yes,
expert.
that is true. And so you're gonna see just buyers drop out of the marketplace. Sellers are worn out. Holidays around the corner, so people don't want to deal with it. And then how about this reason? Tax year credits. Might as well buy a house and get some of those tax credits for April 15th the following year. You can deduct your closing costs, some of your closing costs, property taxes, mortgage interest.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. More quality time with your real estate team.
What?
What?
Yeah, that's what it says.
No.
Yeah. Fewer buyers also means that you get more attention from the realtor.
Oh, of course.
And the team. The team's going to include your mortgage person, because you got more than likely you're going to get a mortgage. And I'll have to look up. I asked Brandon Adler to send me a text last weekend what the
Mortgage rates were.
mortgage were
Rates?
yeah. And so I'll look it up and see. They were pretty good. Good time to buy.
Yeah.
And of course your real estate attorney, which is Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else is on your team?
Do you have to have a real estate attorney?
No, I personally think the need for an attorney depends on the type of property. If it's an average house,
No.
no.
Business property, maybe.
Now, as a realtor, though, we do recommend that if you have any concerns about the transaction or the language within the transaction or any documents that are included in the transaction, you should seek the advice of an attorney.
Isn't that up to you?
No, I'm not an attorney. I cannot give a legal advice. I can only fill in the blanks. I can tell you what the market is. I can tell you, what I would recommend. I could tell you whether or not I think it's a good counter or a good price offering, or what the pitfalls are of making a low offer or whatever, or if there's a competition. But I can't give you legal advice. And the same is true of an attorney or anybody else in an accountant or any of them. They can't give you advice on the value of a piece of property. So, and we've had that happen a lot.
That happens a ton.
If your CPA or your neighbor or your attorney tells you that you're paying too much for a piece of property,
They can have an opinion, can't they?
no.
They can't?
How would they know? Tell me, just like I
They-
wouldn't know,
They might be, who knows,
they might be what?
an expert. I don't
They
know.
they are not experts.
Okay.
They are not experts. They might know of someone who sold their property, and how much somebody got for their property, but they don't know the value of property. That's the realtor's job to know that. Or an appraiser. But anybody outside the real estate profession, I mean, just because they think you might be paying too much or you're getting a great deal or whatever, they don't know the industry. Unless they have a real estate market and they practice it full time.
But they can have an opinion.
Well, everybody can have an opinion.
Okay.
Whether you should listen to it is a full.
Well,
another-
that's up to the buyer, right?
Whether they're going to listen to it or not.
Yeah.
Well, if they listen to it and the person outside the industry doesn't have a clue what they're talking about, they may lose a great opportunity because they listened to the wrong person.
But that's
Yeah, that's their prerogative.
that's buyer beware, isn't it?
That is buyer beware.
All right.
Buyer beware of your friends.
I'm sure.
Right. You know, and I love it. Everybody's an expert except for the realtor.
I'm sure I've said that. But wow,
Yeah.
that doesn't look like that property's worth that much.
And you know, 99
they
times
can
out of
listen to me
100,
or
they
not?
haven't. Right, and they haven't been. You haven't been through the property. You
No.
haven't walked around the property.
Yeah.
You know, you might not have the insights. There are realtors who specialize in certain parts of the market that would even know better than I might know. But at least I might, if it's an area that I'm not an expert on, I'll pick up the phone and call because I think I get along with everybody in the real estate industry.
You do?
I think so. I don't think that there's somebody I don't get along with. If there is somebody out there,
Call.
call me and let
Call
me
this
know
show.
that I don't get along with them. But I respect my peers. So, oh, did you know that home improvements is another good reason to buy in the fall because everything starts going on sale apparently. According to Consumers Reports, it's the best time of the year to buy cookware and TVs, and then appliances go on sale.
Really?
Washers and dryers
In the
December.
fall?
Well, in December. So you buy your house, you start getting settled in, and then you realize what you need to do.
You wait to buy a TV until.
Well, you might get an updated TV. How's that?
Okay.
So, did I hit everything? Lower home prices, less competition, worn out home sellers, the holidays are around the corner, year-end tax credit, more quality time with your real estate team.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, exactly. Gives you more time to do due diligence. And home improvement.
Is that true though? Do you find that true? You would give your customer more quality time in the fall? I don't believe it.
No, I think if you have, the more clients you have at any given time, you're a little more frazzled and you're just trying to make
Right.
sure you pay attention to everybody.
Well, sure.
So, probably down to reality, the fewer clients you have, the more
Okay.
attention you're going to give them.
I mean, well, we talk about when we downsized the company from having all these agents and having to manage all of those. Our clients got much better service because our attention was less split between having to deal with all those other
Right.
agents. So I guess, I mean, look at logically, anytime your attention is less split, you're going to get more attention.
So there you have it.
Okay.
I was going to look up the interest rates, right?
Sure.
I just have to.
Now you
Gotta find them.
gotta keep talking.
And I said to
while you do
Brandon,
it.
and if he's listening, Brandon didn't send me the updated. So we'll have to give him a hard time. Here we go. All right,
These
so
are
this
from
was
last
this was a little more than last week. This was September 19th. 30 years were around 3.5%.
Yeah, but those change every day.
Well, I don't think they've changed a whole lot.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is
if it
October
was
3rd,
if
Laura.
it was a drastic
September
change, it
19th.
wouldn't be
That was just 2 weeks ago. 15-year
Trump was still paying his taxes on
Yeah,
September
right.
19th.
Yeah. I wonder how low taxes would be, how low interest rates would be if Trump paid his taxes. Do you think that affects interest rates? Probably not. 15-year was around 2.875.
Wow.
And then a 30-year fixed rate MISHTA with no down payment assistance at 3%.
Good deal.
That is a good deal. And the first ones were fixed. The 30-year around 3.5 and 15 about 2.875. Do you know I have one right now. How much is it? 7.875. That seems so high.
That does seem high.
My first mortgage was 16%.
Yeah,
I think.
15, 14.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Crazy.
When were you born? 79? Yeah, I had to think back about my first house, so. I had something on my mind and I can't think about what it was.
That's bad for radio.
I know.
I know, because I can't see it.
I can't see that you're actively thinking.
Right. You know, the other thing I wanted to talk about is I've got a couple clients right now that both of them have had square footage issues.
Oh, yeah.
So when I list a house, I do is our multiple listing service requires us. And if you have a tri-level, you are counting, you know what a tri-level is?
Yeah.
You walk in on a main floor and then you go upstairs or you go downstairs.
I do know that.
Okay. So the downstairs is considered basement, so you can only count anything that's got.
You're only supposed to count above grade square
Thank you
footage,
for
so
putting that
anything above the grade.
Right. So when you walk into the main level, that's your kitchen, living room usually, and then you go upstairs to the bedrooms on a tri-level. And then when you go downstairs to maybe another bedroom, laundry, family room, typically in a tri-level, that square footage down there can't be included in your living area. It
Okay.
can be included in finished area, but not living areas. So what it shows up on the multiple listing service, if you're doing it correctly, it's obviously less than if you included the basement. Well, a lot of realtors are including all of that, and so it makes the listing that's done correctly less competitive because it appears to be smaller when in fact it's not.
Well, that's not right.
Right. Same thing with a house on
So-
water.
So you're saying some of your good friends in the real estate industry are cheating.
It's probably more they just don't know.
They're
How to calculate
realtors.
it.
They're
It's-
licensed realtors.
Some of them are
harder
newer.
Yeah, it's harder.
It
They're
depends on-
licensed.
Yeah, I
I
understand.
mean, that sounds like a basic.
When you walk into a house, you expect any place that you're going to live in to be counted. And, you know, in a tri-level, you're more likely to use the basement than in a standard house. And so a lot of people think, oh, well, we can just count this. And you just can't. There are a lot of rules out there that
Right.
people need to know and need to understand. And
And
it
so
takes
that
time
makes
for
the-
people.
Trouble in
in paradise, right?
real estate city.
Yeah, well, and same thing with a house on the lake. So often you have a ranch, let's call it a ranch.
Yeah.
Usually it's a ranch or Cape Cod, and it's got a full walkout basement. Bill and I had a great home on Skiff Lake, and our walkout basement had windows on 3 sides. There was only one wall that hit the dirt. It was still a basement. It didn't feel like you were in a basement because of all the windows that were in the lower level, but it was still a basement. And what we find are realtors that count the basement as the first floor and then the first floor as the second floor. Therefore, the square footage, again, is skewed because they're counting what's the basement as living area, which it's finished area, but it's not considered living area when you're doing an appraisal. And when somebody has to come along and get a mortgage on the property, it's a little bit more challenging and a little bit less competitive in the marketplace because those that do it correctly, their homes appear to be smaller in size when in fact they're not.
So did you bring any homes in?
I didn't bring the homes in, but I brought some information about them.
All right.
Because it'd be hard to bring those homes in. Put them on the camera. Mill Street on the Raisin River is $249,900. It is a ranch with a full walkout basement, and the square footage is just under 3,000 square feet for the entire house.
Did you count the basement?
I did count the basement, the
Well, you're not
finished
supposed
area.
to count that.
Well, I'm letting you know that. The first floor is
Okay.
over 1,700 square feet. It's a really great floor plan. I mean, the bedrooms and bathroom are on one side of the house, and the kitchen and the family room are on the other, and the living room's right in the center with the deck. So it's a nice division of privacy when you're entertaining and you have family or friends that want to sleep. And then a great house in Western School District on Laurie Drive in the subdivision over there. 6581 Laurie Drive is $169,900. It's 4 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. That's a tri-level. And that's 2172 square feet. That's got a really cool Four Seasons room off the back that gets in, and it's very light and bright house, ready to move into. So that one's $169.9. If you want to talk about real estate, whether you want to buy or sell, give me a call at 780-3800. You can text me at 879-1672. You can, that's my cell phone, so you can call me on that too. Or you can go to the website, thinkingrealestate.com. All these options.
Call.
780-3800.